I want to address the elephant in the room, man. Then I'm gonna bow out, man. Let Beehive ask you the last couple of questions. I want to talk about Boyz in the Hood, and particularly Jody Breeze and Young Jeezy. The first thing I want to talk about with Young Jeezy is the verse that he did on if it's taking too long to break up, bring it back. Me and you talked about this plenty of times.
Yeah.
I think that might have been, top 5 verses to ever.
You got to be at the top.
Ever come out of the letter. I would say Sean Paul had one. They were calling me.
Yeah,
come back to the street.
Yeah.
you got a few. I can't think of all of them right now.
But CeeLo got one somewhere now.
That particular verse. Talk to me about how that verse came, and were you there when he did that verse? Take us through that whole thing with Young Jeezy with that particular verse.
Okay, well, Young Jeezy, again, when we came together, of course, we was put together, you know what I mean? So, like when Block, again, okay, let's start with that. Block, that Boyz in the Hood was always his baby, you know what I'm saying? Like, he been talking about that for years, you know what I mean? And that's one thing I kind of appreciate him on, like I can remember when he first started talking about that, like, he was like, man, I'm gonna get a group called Boyz in the Hood, I'm gonna have you in it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, they were even figure out where it was coming from or what he said. And so then he was like, when he put it together, it was like, we wanted to have every element of the hood covered, you know what I'm saying? Like, every hood got a young wild nigga for the most part. Gotcha. That was Jody. Every nigga had a guy that supposed to be like a cutthroat, grimy, that supposed to be Gee. Right. Every hood got an OG, that supposed to be me. Everybody got a big dope boy, that was Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? So we figured covering every element of the hood, you know what I'm saying? So, to answer your, so to get back to your question, when we got together, when we did that song, that was the first song we ever did together, right? It was really just us coming in the studio just to see how we sounded together. You know what I'm saying? Just see what our chemistry like. You know what I mean?
That was your first time meeting
Boyz in the Hood with the first song?
That's the first time we did.
Them boys, my God.
Because again, if you go back and listen to the first, that used to be on that first mixtape, at the end I say B. Jody, Jeezy, and Trick on All the Way Right.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Trick Dad is supposed to be in the group first, but he didn't think the song was a hit. He wanted to sit in there and smoke Newports and play Tonk. So he said the shit wasn't gonna hit. I went on there and everybody did the verse and shit. And then so after, we were like, man, you know what, man, that one Block, like, man, I ain't finna deal with him. I said, man, go on and get Gee, man. You know what I'm saying? He was from here. He was already signed to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let you go on and do him. So he came on. That's why he wasn't on the first version. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And he came and did the remix with him and Game on it. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, when I heard that verse, dog, cause like he went in there first. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I hadn't even met him yet. He was already in the booth, right? Man, got there. And Jasmine was like, yeah, that's Jeezy. He never finna do his verse. You know what I'm saying? He like this shit. Oh, cool. Okay, so I go on in, another room and shit over there, let him do a little thing.
Right.
Roll a bit of blunt smoke, whatever. So by the time, I come back in there to hit.
Right.
Man, I came in there to hear, right, just say, hey, check this out. Man, I just was like, oh my God, man. That nigga was a 60-second assassin, man. Like, you couldn't paint a picture better than that, bro. Yeah. Like, that was that got to go down in one of the all-time greatest dope verses I ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? God. Dog, I sit there just like that for at least 15 minutes before a nigga just even decide to get ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who going next? You know what I'm saying? Who going next?
Who going behind that?
Yeah, who going next? So goddamn. Well, yeah, man. I did. By the time I had to tell Blockhead went out there and got him and brought him in.
Yeah.
So I got him like, hey, boy, you killed that shit. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, homie. I said, man, you killed that shit, dog. Like, you ain't understanding, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was, you know what I mean? Like, from there, that was our like, meeting with all of us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, we just started working from there on, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like stuff was just coming together.
Yeah.
Kind of easy. We played off each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might come in with hooks idea already. You know what I'm saying? Jody may have a hook idea. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then there might be sometimes, well, shit, I might just happen to be up in the studio with Dana already. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just lay my shit and put the hook in there. If they like it, and they'll come in there and just, you know what I'm saying, jump on it too. May add their voice to the hook, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Depending on what it's saying. You know what I mean? So it man. Honestly, man, it was. I mean, I love the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like as far like I said, what we did musically, I thought came together pretty, you know, organically. You know what I'm saying? It was just a good fit. You know what I'm saying?
What was that like in that time in Atlanta though, man? Because I mean, Boyz in the Hood was one of the biggest groups at that time in hip hop, man. So I mean, what was that whirlwind like, being able to experience that kind of success and attention after all of them years of grinding?
Right, man. You know what? I be telling people all the time. Maybe I think it might have happened too late for me to appreciate like that because. Like all my experiences in big first, this and that, and first I had already done it with, you know, with Suave, and then you know going over there with Jermaine and doing the So Def thing, you know, a little bit. I had a little, you know, I was on Bow Wow single, so that was kind of, you know what I'm saying. That was a different lane, but it was still putting me. I'm seeing a lot of stuff, even more stuff for the first time. You see what I'm saying? So by the time this happened, I'm more or less, you know, talking. That's why I would make sure I had a position over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Black gave me that A&R position because I was thinking more like after this.
Stability.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's next now? You see what I'm saying? Right. I feel like that it was still, again, I was still appreciative of it because, you know what I'm saying? It was still, you know, to me, like shit, making it to the pros. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? NFL. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you got a lot of NFL players or basketball players who they might not goddamn still be after 2 or 3 years, goddamn, in the league or whatever, but they got there. You see what I'm saying?
And so, what did that do for you too? I hate to cut in here, but after you saw your football dream go to hell, but then turn around and be all over the world on the TV, still experiencing that same kind of fame and celebrity, what did that do for you?
I remember I answered that like this. I remember Freddie Fox, he was down at Swat. He asked me, he said, man, what would you rather? He said, man, we had did, when I first came home, the first time I came back to Houston when I left was at the Dome. You know what I'm saying? That's when Puff was doing his little, Puff and them had a big Bad Boy show. And they had, it was their tour. Okay. And they had, you know, when they hit the cities, they'll get the songs that's popular in that city. So they had Ball to do the song with Mace that was on Mace's album. You know what I'm saying? Then they wanted Bob them to do Lay It Down. You see what I'm saying? Right. So they brought me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the first time I come back and my homeboy CB, I'm in the Dome on the goddamn Jumbotron. Ill and goddamn doobie. They see me on the Jumbotron. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Like I said, it was bad. That was the time when it was like, you know, to me, when it was like, man, you know what I'm saying? This shit crazy, you know what I'm saying? Right. So then again, like I said, now, when it came to that, to the Boyz in the Hood thing, the only difference then, it was more like, okay, it was something I was a part of, opposed to just being out here being a hype man or just being featured on this song. We might do that song, depending on where we at. You see what I'm saying? Right. So like, it's us now, you see what I'm saying? So, it was. I mean, like I said, man, it was good. It was great, man. It was everything really you could imagine. You know, I'm pretty like saying, and then you was even younger when y'all had first like was peaking. You know what I'm saying? And we listened in, right? So I know you probably had a whole nother different type of experience.
I just jumped right in. I didn't have the like with you with 8 Ball being groomed by different people, and so I just jumped right in. So my stuff was like I was naive with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying, right off the rip. I didn't really even understand what we were doing at the time. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm just talking about the experience itself.
No, the experience itself was overwhelming for me. But see, for you, like you saying, you know, you had already dip your toes in a lot of stuff, and you don't already had success. I hadn't had no success with that, so I went straight from goddamn shit to sugar.
And see, again though, but see again, I was older too by the time I got to my success than you. You see what I'm saying? So my mentality was at a whole different spot by then. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I maybe could have. And they didn't enjoy like I could have or should have, but I still had a ball. You know what I'm saying? I still had a ball.
Right.